Hey there everybody, Aaron here, and welcome to the third and final video in the Goosebumps informational videos that I've been doing to correspond with the game. In this video, we will be going over some of the stuff we encounter in the mall. As I've done in the last couple videos, I issue a spoiler alert right here and now. If you do not want to be spoiled in what occurs with the game, do not watch this video. I would recommend watching this video after you have watched the entirety of the series in this case. Um, but I guess in truth there really isn't much by way of spoilers in this particular video anyway. This is probably going to be shorter than the other videos. There's not as many things to talk about here, at least as far as information I could find. So I guess let's get cracking. The first thing I will talk about here is the security guard robot. Now, I could not find what he's actually specifically a reference to, and I remembered seeing a name for him somewhere at some point when I was playing, but I could not find that again. And I do not have access to the raw files on anything anymore at this moment, so I'm not sure. Robots have been used in quite a few of the Goosebumps books, and choose your own Goosebumps and all that stuff. So, or give yourself Goosebumps, I should say. uh, so it's hard to say if he's a direct reference to something or if he's just kind of a nod to the fact that robots have been used fairly regularly within the series. The next thing we can talk about would be Cronby the Troll, and he is actually from a Choose Your Own Adventure book, one of the Give Yourself Goosebumps books. And of course, as I'm recording this, it escapes me. Deep into the Jungle of Doom is what that one is called. And in that, he basically does a similar to he does in the game here, where he gives the reader riddles, and depending on if they riddles specifically about Goosebumps, the Goosebumps series of books, and if you can get it right, you know, it affect whether you're right or wrong affects the outcome of things. But he's just one of the creatures that are seen in that particular book. The next thing we'll move on to will be the Lawn Gnomes, which is I actually did read this book. It's from the book Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes, and I think there's another book that has to do with them as well. I didn't read that one, but I remember reading Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes. Um, and to put it short and sweet, as is kind of obvious, it's about lawn gnomes not really being unliving things, I guess. That's a good way to put it. Or they're really alive is ultimately what's going on there. So, and there's some shenanigans going on with that, but that's basically what's going on there. I mean, they did a good job in this game of making them kind of creepy. There, as far as solving their puzzle, there really isn't much to go on here, because it's just the way it goes. The next thing we'll talk about real quick, as I said, this video is going to be a lot shorter because there just isn't as much in this section. And probably, I feel like I spent a lot of time here. The puzzles in this section were harder, but there wasn't as much as way of creatures and stuff that you dealt with. So the next thing we'll talk about are these mannequins here. These are actually a reference to the Choose Your Own Adventure book or Give Yourself Goosebumps book, Shop Till You Drop Dead. Within that, there are living mannequins that can occur in at least one, if not more, of the endings within that book. So that's where they're from, and that's what they're a nod to. I'm kind of surprised, considering we spent time in a mall, there wasn't more references to that book. There probably is that I didn't catch, but because I've never read that one, so I wouldn't pick up on it right away anyway. But we'll move on to probably the last and the biggest character that we see in the mall. We've seen him a little bit throughout it, and that would be Slappy the dummy. The ventriloquist dummy, and he's, of course, from the book series Night of the Living Dead. There's any number of them at this point. I think I read up to 3 maybe. This is another series I read a lot from the Goosebumps stuff. So basically, it's pretty self-explanatory. There's not a ton of details that I remember anyway about Slappy, but he's alive. He's a living thing, a living dummy, exactly as it states. And there's the shenanigans that go on with that. His relationship here is kind of interesting, and I was looking at the achievements, and there's an implied achievement that he has some kind of secret or something that I would like to probably play through the game again just to try and get. I don't know what that would be off the top of my head, but Yep, he's kind of seems to be the main antagonist of this game, and from what it looks like, the movie that this game is supposedly a prequel to, he's one of the main antagonists in that as well. So it's an interesting thing. I'm sure there's some kind of interesting twist behind that. But that's all the creatures we pretty much encountered in this. There's one other thing. I don't have an image for it here, but I wanted to mention it. There is purple ooze in the candy store when we're going through it. I suspect that that is another iteration of Monster Blood that actually makes you shrink. And I talked about Monster Blood in the last video, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is. I didn't try it in the game, but I kind of suspected that is what was going on with it. And I'd imagine that is probably true. So, but I think that's gonna do it for this video, everybody. If you're watching this on Halloween, happy Halloween. Have fun and be safe. If you aren't watching this on Halloween, have a great day. I hope you had a great day if it's already late. If not, have a great one. Uh, but I think that's going to do it for me today, everybody. As always, take care of yourselves, and I will see you guys in the next series. Bye bye.